Alright, it's time for some G2. Griffin versus G2. Two big question marks. What are we gonna have here? Coach Chaos. Who the fuck is that? No, I'm just kidding. Well, I'm not kidding, because I don't know who it is, but I didn't mean to be so rude. It's a very interesting group. Two clear favorites, but we don't know what G2 or Griffin we're gonna have. So let's take a look. Kiana banned, Pantheon ban, Quinn ban signals that enemy wants to first pick Renekton. That's a first pick Renekton. Easy first pick Renekton. Easy Kled lock-in. Xayah is still in the picture. Kai'Sa gets locked in. Kai'Sa Elise. Okay. This is a third pick Kled most likely. Because if Kled gets banned, your options to pick into Renekton are going to be slimmer and slimmer. Griffin going with the Damwon approach. They are locking in Renekton Talia, straight off the bat for the 2v2. Maybe they would go for Elise if Elise wasn't taken away. But here, I think the best choice is still, of course, to pick the Kled away. Pick Kled, go for the 2v2 and be cool. Leona? What on earth? Okay. Leona's fine into Nautilus. It's a decent matchup, but I don't know if it's crazy enough to just lock it in. Hard to play Talia against Leona. A lot of tools to catch her, and Leona is always an okay champ. Okay champion. Xayah ban. Another AD man, most likely. Not Ezreal. It depends if they expect the enemy to pick... what's it called? I don't expect Viper to pick Ezreal. Not sure what Viper will play here. It seems like Griffin is setting up for an Akali blind pick. Maybe Akali ban could be something here. Fourth pick Kled. But maybe they're afraid of Renekton mid if they fourth pick Kled. Maybe this is why they didn't pick Kled. Griffin... Ezreal's banned away. Okay. I don't think it's that great of a ban. But maybe they're just in a position where they don't know what else to ban. Akali, they're fine to play into. GP ban. Okay. Orianna blind pick. This is something we saw Rookie do. G2 esports is inspired. This time around, LeBlanc is open. So that changes things. LeBlanc is open. You can put LeBlanc into Orianna. Well, it's still a fine matchup for Orianna 1v1. It's all about those ganks. Talia can still go mid as well if they want. Lucian most likely bottom into Kai'Sa. Something that was picked into Orianna in the past, if they wanted to pick Lucian here and then pick an AP to go bottom and then they get double flex. But it doesn't matter because they already see. They already see Kai'Sa, they already see Orianna. Lehens is hovering singed. That's Irelia mid. Chovy, Irelia mid. Very hard matchup for Orianna, honestly. And something that has gone kind of forgotten. It's kind of forgotten here. And okay. Ornn. What on earth? You pick Ornn? Wunder on Ornn? Into Renekton? Sword is playing. Not the other top lane, I don't remember who he is. Ornn Leona. Is this Fnatic? Are we looking at Fnatic here? Interesting draft. It's not something that I expect at all from G2. But they have a lot of engaged tools. I wouldn't want to play Talia in this game, that's for sure. Promiscue. The Forgotten Son. Who's the big picture? Oh no, I missed it. Jankos gets the big picture. Okay. Let's take a look. Griffin with some level 1 power here. Talia and Nautilus. Jankos is just checking. Maybe he W's them for good measure. Wards. Sweeper on for Talia. Maybe they can sweep. Mickey goes for deep ward. Probably Perk should ward and Mickey should keep his ward. Super ward is most of the time better. Oh, they don't ward. They don't give a shit. Maybe they don't ward because they know Talia wants to... needs leash. Is that the reason why? Talia needs leash? So G2 have a heavy teamfight composition. Elise wants to path into bottom and pressure bottom. This is definitely play away from Ornn at all costs and just pressure onto bottom. Already now we have the map divided. Like Griffin is starting on enemy red while Jankos is starting on blue. He needs to make sure that he gets a red buff, so he needs to invade enemy. Irelia Orianna matchup is heavily favored for Irelia. And also here the damage mix is good because Irelia Talia is very good in the 2v2 while Orianna Elise are going to struggle if this Irelia has Mercury. When Irelia has Mercury, they don't do damage anymore. Caps is going to chase Tarzan now. This is interesting. Playing for the team, huh? Tanking the Raptors. Taking a little twirl around mid lane, but this is very good for Irelia. Like she can stack now her passive on the wave and Joey's gonna be level 2 first and the wave is frozen. So this is not good. I don't think it's worth it, Caps. It's a dangerous gameplay. Jovi can keep stacks and Jovi can look to trade. Elise is hovering right behind. We know Elise wants to go for red and Elise cannot enter topside jungle. Elise is walking through mid here. Orianna gets hit. Elise is in position, but this is a level 2 Elise. Level 2 Elise. Jovi knew this could happen, so he backs off in time. Wonder. Oh! Hey! Look at that smite. That's a rough one right there. Jankos takes a couple of mid creeps because he wants to get fucking level 3. Doesn't give a shit. Jungler and mid sharing some CS together. Irelia's gonna catch this on the mid tower. You know, fuck it. The mid matchup is really hard anyway. Making it harder is not gonna make that much of a difference, you know. G2 bot lane, cleanse on Lucian, pretty good against Elise and Leona, why not? I think this is the point of entry if they want to make any type of play, but the 2v2 on top, 2v2 on bottom, 2v2 on mid, 2v2 on top, it should be hard. Tarzan now, just because he lost his golem, is very behind on tempo. Elise is not, Talia is not the best clearer in the game, and the fact that she lost all her time, her smite on this golem, you know, I was excited because Wunder punched it and stole it, but it means so much for the game. And maybe this is what Caps was fishing for. Because now Elise is level 4, Tarzan's level 2, and he's not that high on HP. He's doing his crap. That's where he regened HP, so he couldn't do any other camp before. He did red into blue, half Raptor, and half Golems. Joey avoiding the gank very well. Wunder doing the same. Wunder is not in dive range. Actually, maybe he is if Renekton combos and then Talia has combo, but she wasted her combo and the cooldown is pretty long. Jankos now finding the damage. Flash for flash. If G2 are gonna continue pressuring through bottom, then they should be happy with flash for flash, because Mickey is also running Hex Flash, so his flash is less valuable. Wunder now, if he can W the stun of Renekton, he should be quite safe, but it's quite the skill thing to do. Wow, Wunder playing very risky, but it's paying off. Very nice. Wunder is in form. So this matchup is not good in any way. I don't know why Sword went for PTA. I don't like it. I think it's a mistake. Wow, they even get a kill. Very sloppy here. That Sword manages to die with flash against this. Especially after Talia spent so much time here. Like here, Sword doesn't need to not need to do anything anymore. So Griffin always had a bit of a struggle with the top laner, and Renekton is such a pick that you need to play around top specifically. And I think with Relia Talia in the game, they could definitely play around mid. Caps being even is super good for him. Being even in this matchup is super good, but Elise did in fact have a lot more pressure than Talia on the bottom half of the map, including mid lane. So we can't fault Jovi for that. Irelia needs to play very aggressive in order to snowball any matchup. Oh my goodness, it's just the Ornn, it's the Ornn Elise 2v2. It's paying off. Sword is getting demolished. Talia is very low on tempo, and Jankos is smurfing, honestly. Jankos is motherfucking smurfing. He had so much pressure on the map, and Wunder stealing that golem away was game changing. It's fucking ridiculous, but it was. And this dive is such a perfect dive because there's no TP on Sword, and he also loses a big ass wave. So now 40 CS, Caps just needs to choose his moments. A big thing about Irelia is that she needs to play super aggro. It's always the case with a lot of mid laners like Irelia, Yasuo. They need to play super aggro to win. So it's not like she is instantly winning against Orianna. She needs to all in. And if your team is losing this side of the map, then there's no problem. And G2 is dominating everything. Jankos is just everywhere. And now Caps once again gets saved by his team. Caps is hovering into bottom side, and Jankos is there to cover. Jankos is insane. G2 have thrown games before, but if they can manage to keep this lead until 15 minutes, I'm very confident in their abilities to win this game. Griffin have a team comp that have to snowball. They have the Talia, Irelia, Renekton. If they don't snowball, then G2 is heavily favored. Perks with a good flash, but Lehens here is out of position now because he has no flash, and Mickey connects with his E. Very interesting composition choice here. G2 just happy to play the game where they can scale, but Jankos compensating big time for the weaknesses of some of these picks with a lot of tempo. So Jankos first picking Elise here, definitely worth it. Ornn dying to this gank. You know, Jankos can't be absolutely fucking everywhere. Ornn, just because we came just out of a replay, I don't know how to judge Ornn's position on the map. So we're just gonna ignore it. Irelia with Hex Drinker. I would rather buy the Mercury. I think Mercury is better than Hex Drinker, but to each their own. Hex Drinker is good for the 2v2. Talia, Irelia is definitely a way in. They need to look for that 2v2 over and over. They managed to kill Ornn once now, but just because this Renekton doesn't have Conqueror, I am less confident in Renekton's abilities in this matchup. It's better early to have PTA, but now you don't necessarily need power in the early game. With Conqueror, you can go Spear of Sojin first, and maybe you can do crazy things. But now he's going for Black Cleaver, which I think is slightly worse. But if you have PTA, you have to go Black Cleaver. G2 with a big CS advantage on bottom. Perks locking in the traditional AD carry. Lehens dying and Lucian being left alone for some time definitely helps. Viper is off his Play the Rune King timer. So this is very positive for G2 that they finish their item before enemy finishes their item. Of course, Manamune is cheaper than Blade of the Rune King, but it still matters. Perks can begin to stack. Still no Blade of the Rune King. Swap is happening right now. Rift Herald swap timer. I think G2 is very happy about this. Because but G2 are not considering this because they are freezing bottom. Here, if they knew, they would start pushing bottom already, and they would continue on to the map. So here Griffin have a tempo swing. A definitive tempo swing. Ornn is pushing out slowly. Lehens gets spotted now on top bush ward. I think Lehens should try not to show and time it with Lucian. And now Kaiser Leona are pushing down bottom and they're looking to dive. Wonder is trying to clear the wave. Renekton is backing up. We have a trade of sides, but Griffin have the Rift Herald on their side and also the tower is lower top. So this is favorable for Griffin, I believe. Chovy now, finding the all-in. Jankos is there to save. Whoa. Chovy. That's the tricky part here. Chovy playing very well, but Orianna Irelia matchup super tough. I don't think anyone picked Irelia against Orianna in scrims. G2 managed to get bottom tower first anyway, even though the third top was less healthy. They managed to get a kill on mid. Chovy is alive, and that magic resistance definitely carries a lot of weight here. That Hex Drinker is so valuable against Elise Orianna, and you know, I was talking about that 2v2 for Irelia because of these reasons, but you know, this works just as fine. Ornn now dead, and this was a big swing for Griffin. G2 managed to get first tower on bottom, probably because Ornn ulted the wave and made it thinner, and Griffin needs to wait for another wave in order to hit more, and Elise also does a lot of damage with the attack speed from a W. Iceborne Gauntlet finished on Ornn. Even though this is a big swing in Griffin's favor, they needed to transition into mid to late game with an advantage. So we don't have to raise our alarms just yet for G2. Perkovic now against the Blade of Rune King Lucian. So here Caps just flashes into the ult, which gives the enemy a window. Flash auto, and now the Hex Drinker is still on. If Elise committed here, she would die as well. Mercury on Talia, Mercury on Elise. A lot of CC tools here to shut down Irelia later in fights. It's going to be tricky for her to fight, but right now Irelia can easily continue to 1v2 in mid lane because of how much MR she has. She has close to 100 MR with the Hex Drinker and the Mercury threads. So it's a very strong pick here in the mid lane. G2 could still look for options to kill the Renekton. Depends if he has Mercury or not, but Mercury is such a value item here, and it shifts a lot of the 2v2 matchups that we have across the board. That's why I wanted Irelia to buy Mercury, but the Hex Drinker definitely paid off with the extra AD that helped him secure the kill on Orianna there. I'm just a massive proponent of boots. I love boots. G2 now with the Prior from top, hovering into mid lane. Not a lot of wave clear from Griffin because it's an Irelia after all. She needs to take risks. Maybe Tarzan can one-shot the wave, but Chovy is committing. Chovy has a lot of MR. You see the full combo of Orianna and Elise puts him down to half HP only, and he regens some with the potion and the Q on the wave. Renekton, while Ornn was in mid lane, is doing golems. Should be pushing bottom, I believe. Should be better. Wunder is pressuring the map while Renekton is doing golems. Renekton managed to recover a lot in CS. Ornn died on top and Renekton gave up at the right time. Also, they managed to kill Ornn twice, including that one that I just mentioned. It's not like Ornn is some hard counter to Renekton. You just pick Ornn to scale and then to, you know, give your team items and engage. So definitely G2 still outscale a decent amount. Mercury coming into mid game though is going to be a very good item against G2's composition, so we have to pay attention to how the mid game fights develop. Chovy, when he gets Trinity Force, maybe is the best timer for Griffin to fight. 2-item Lucian and then Trinity Force Irelia might be the best time to force for Griffin to try to build their advantage. Still Herald on Talia. She used it on bottom now, which is sad because they probably needed this one to break mid tower. So Griffin needs to either dive or what's it called? Dive or use Herald on mid to break this tower. Because Orianna is just too good of a wave clear champion. Chovy has no TP. Chovy should win a 1v1 really easily against Ornn, so split push is definitely in the favor of G2. They find the catch on Lehens. Lehens should not be anywhere close to here. G2 are trying to look for opportunities to group and lose as little as possible while doing so. And here Lehens gets caught, so they are very happy. Mercury on Talia, but still if she gets Ornn ult, it's not going to save her. Chovy gets cocooned. Chovy is punching, use the corrupting, and he walks away. Chovy, after getting caught by this gank, still continues to take massive risks. Leona has spells. He's waiting for the flash, but they choose not to go for the dive. Mercury value is too high. So Griffin just want to find ways to play as divided as possible, because the skirmishes, they definitely win. 5v5 teamfight and focusing down one target when G2 is able to do so, then they should definitely win. But Renekton and Irelia are very hard to kill in skirmishes right now, and this is what G2 want to avoid at all cost. Wunder probably needs to give this up. He might gamble. He can maybe one-shot the wave or W the Renekton W and be fine. Maybe it wasn't much of a gamble. I think it would be fine. Caps had TP on, and it would be a gamble from Griffin's side to dive. Big item difference on AD carries. Like Lucian is not going to be useful for the rest of the game. He's buying Black Cleaver. Like Viper is just not going to be useful this game. Kai'Sa is too far ahead, and Ornn is going to build items for Kai'Sa. This is going to be a rough game for Lucian. The pacing of this game is very beneficial for G2. They don't need to rush anything, and I feel like they recognize it with the way they're playing. Every moment G2 is able to get some prio from side, they do rotate into mid and they build vision right away. And Griffin need to find opportunities on side, and as long as G2 play a tight game, that's not going to happen. By a tight game, I mean just play 4-1, 4-1, push one side, hover into the other, and be okay to give up some CS. It's completely fine to give up a couple of CS because you're going to win out in the long run anyway. Right now, they're making the call. They want to step into top side, clear the top wave, and then Wunder is backing off because of it. This might give Griffin an opportunity to dive on bottom. Wunder chooses to stay. He sees the position of Tarzan clearing this pink ward, so he is taking no risk. Wunder's playing well. He's on the Ornn duty. And what I love about G2 is the fact that, you know, there are no complaints in what they need to play specifically, because they can play any composition and you know that they're going to make the most out of it. They don't have any flaws. Oh, Perks. Well, that's a flaw for sure. Perks just taking a very, very bad path here. After clearing the top wave, taking this path is just very dangerous. He gets spotted by multiple wards and he's doing wolves on top of that. He's a greedy man here. Sword ults right away, and then Perks gets bounced, and it's very close to him making it out. He just gets booped. Booped. And this makes Griffin very happy, because the Drake is about to spawn, and Sword has TP on, no Renekton ult though. Perks is gonna spawn in quite some time. Quite a greedy blunder here from our Croatian boy. I had to think where he's from. Griffin pick up a Drake. This is the price you pay, Perks, for dying. The Ornn buff is in effect. Iceborne Gauntlet is upgraded. He's going Abyssal next. Oh, Perks had no E. Oh, it's so close, man. It's so close. It's very close. But that doesn't make us less unhappy about this, Perks. These are the things we wanted you to clean up. Voidstaff second on Oriana. He's presses tab and sees Mercury on every motherfucker on the enemy team. He's locks in Voidstaff. I respect it. But it's lame to be a mid laner and buy Voidstaff second if you're forced to. So once again, G2 just need to play 4-1, 4-1, 4-1. Griffin need to find picks on side. Need to make sure that they pressure side first. Leave Lucian alone in mid lane. Maybe free Lehens to do things on side. Under low HP here. Chovy has a lot of MR, so he can survive a very long. Sword is TPing. Caps is TPing as well. Oriana ult hits too. Very nice. Renekton with the Black Cleaver doesn't have Spear of Sojin. Doesn't have any exciting things to do. Kai'Sa has range of ulti, but there's no Cocoon, no Oriana ult, so she can't ult. Mickey, if he lands, bam, Kai'Sa ult. Okay, Viper should be dead. Viper should be gone. Boom. Sword should be dead too, and this honestly is game over. After a fight like this with your team composition that Griffin has, the game was just lost, and the game just became too fucking hard for Griffin. After they lost this golem on top, Elise just pressured the map way too fucking hard. Jankos pressured the whole map and managed to kill Renekton twice, managed to give Cap so much space in the matchup, and it was just too important. They managed to trade flash for flash on bottom, Leona for Nautilus, and then it resulted in a kill later on in the situation that happened here. This 2v2, this 3v3, Elise is just first. Talia has no ultimate if I recall, and Airborne, I think the Orn ult still hit there. Kai'Sa has nothing to ult to just yet. Sword has no Spear of Sojin, that's why I didn't like it here. Spear of Sojin could be the difference maker. And excuse me. Mickey flash Q, insta ult from Perks, and now Kai'Sa is just too fed. Kai'Sa's too fed, they have a teamfight composition, Nashors are gonna spawn, and it'll be too easy for G2 to play this game now. G2 is just gonna push mid, and then they're gonna walk straight to Nash. Clear all this Nash vision, Perks push top, play 4-1, ignore bot completely. You don't need to give a shit about bot, honestly, and just fucking start hitting Nash. That's super free. They're looking to get vision even deeper. They don't want to make the Fnatic mistake. Griffin know they need to try to make some kind of outpost here where they get some vision, spot the enemy. You can see they play some pinks. This is good defensive play where they are trying to delay the enemy from doing something. But Griffin is delaying the inevitable. That's the only thing they're doing. They need to find an opportunity with G2 fuck up big time, because right now they're just hard outscale. Oh, excuse me for punching my microphone. G2 start Nash, finally. Mickey is in position to look to turn. Blue Trinket seems to be on cooldown, and Kai'Sa just does too much damage onto this Nash with the mountain. G2, I think they can straight up just dive mid if they want to. Just fucking call the Orn Horn and then just go. Renekton has no TP, he's not around. Oh, look at that Caps damage. Caps damage is crazy. This game is over. What a fucking game from Jankos, man. Who the fuck is Tarzan? To be fair, that golem, losing that golem fucks you over so hard. Chovy showed some good individual skill, but doesn't matter. Doesn't feel like it. I figured out that sound was Battle.net. So Jesus is gonna top this group. I'm saying that after one game, but G2 made some mistakes here and there, but the early game was so fucking clean, and then afterwards their comp just outscales. Oh, Perks is ulted by Nautilus. Chovy is trying to do something, but all their efforts are kind of wasted. Sword finally with Spirit Sojin. Nothing to be done. Domination. Spirit of Sojin Irelia. Ole. I'm hyped. Do you just Q? I guess with Spirit of Sojin you just Q on... you just Q and proc the cooldown. Like even if you don't have stack, you just Q. And even if you don't last it. Okay, Mercury Valley, Sword. Yona didn't hit her ult. This looks a bit iffy here for G2. They're fighting in space that they don't control. Perks is so fucking fed though, so he pretty much just one-shot. We have Perks flashing. Not sure about his flash, but that's okay. Cap's not sure about his ult. Okay. How can Red Bull sponsor the tournament and a team? Isn't there a conflict? Because right now the tournament is sponsored by Red Bull, and G2 is also sponsored by Red Bull, and Cloud9 is sponsored by Red Bull. I don't know if there's a conflict, I'm just curious. Because this bottom power play was sponsored by Red Bull. Mickey X Leona, that's new. Yeah. G2 showing off a new style here for sure. Ornn into Renekton. I thought they would just play away from Ornn, but they managed to pick up a couple of kills on the Renekton, which made Ornn more durable. Sword with the SKT skin, walking up, trying to find an entry, but how do you find an entry against this? It's just... they're too tanky, man. Too much CC, 20 tonks. Last inhibitor now. G2 just playing it methodically. Boom. Boom. Deadly combination. Perks in the stun. QSS right away. Boom. Sphere Sojin did absolutely nothing. There's no item that's gonna save him, but it's just funny to consider. Okay. Besides Chovy, good Irelia gameplay, I don't think Griffin showed anything. Lehens played pretty bad. Viper did nothing. Their comp, after they lose early, they can actually just do nothing. So if Griffin continues to draft like this and they lose early, then they're gonna lose the whole tournament. This draft just leaves them with no options, and Elise just carried the whole early game. Wunder stole the big golem, and it was such a game changer, man. What a game changer. Anyway, that was Yamato. I don't think I'm gonna review more games of today, but I don't even know who watches this long into this video. I doubt it. She sells seashells by the seashore. I don't think anyone watches this far. Everyone just quit already by the time I said it's over. Maybe I reveal some secrets at the end of the next video. Who knows? Bye bye.